Hey Joey, during August and September, a bunch of Iowa independent bookstores were doing this thing called the Iowa Independent Bookstore Tour, where you got this little paper passport from one of the bookstores, and every one that you visited, you got like a sticker or a stamp. And then for every sticker or stamp you have, when we turned it in at the end of September, now, you got entered to win a gift card from one of the local businesses. Love that. I was excited to participate. I stopped at all of our ones in town over the month of August, and then I waited and waited and waited for a weekend where I could make it out to Des Moines, Ankeny, Ames, that kind of area to check off all the ones there because there were like six or seven in the sort of broad Des Moines area. So this is the list of stores that we were looking to stop at. A couple of these, okay, so one, the Half Price Books is not on the list. It's not an independent bookstore, but I can't go to a town with a Half Price Books and not go. And two, the Wall of Books I will get into as I go along, but that one wasn't on the list either. We literally spotted it from the road and decided to stop it. That was sort of our plan for the day. This is the list of books that I had on my radar that I was trying to like stick to this kind of general idea while we were shopping, things that I had plans to buy anyway. So, starting off with Wrath of the Triple Goddess, I totally missed that this was coming out, and so I knew I was going to buy it anyway, so why not buy it while I'm independent bookstore shopping? Love that. So, that was on there, and then I am on the hunt for another Kristen Hanna book. I haven't read anything by Kristen Hanna yet, but man, am I getting recommended it everywhere I go. However, every currently published Kristen Hanna book either has the little sliver missing on the front cover, which does drive me actually crazy, or is a hardcover and is $30 and is just a little bit rich for my blood at the moment. So I knew that some of these bookstores had used books, so I wanted to keep an eye out, see if any Kristen Hanna caught my eye. And then Beartown by Frederick Bachman. This I want to put on my winter TBR, so I wanted to find it, have it so that I could read it. And then The X-Files by Jessica Joyce has been recommended to me like thrice over, so I wanted to get my hands on that. And then The Cinnamon Bun Bookstore, I recently bought The Pumpkin Spice Cafe, and this is book 2 to that. And so they seem like nice fun reads for the fall, so I wanted to put them on my TBR, and so I figured that would be a good one that I would probably read soon if I bought it. So that was kind of the plan going into the day, and here I'm going to give you the haul of the things that I got while we were in Des Moines. Starting out with one off the list is Beartown by Frederick Bachman. I got this at the Wandering Raccoon. How cutie 5000 is that? I am gonna, like, you're probably currently seeing it. I'm gonna overlay any footage I took of being there. Being 100% honest, I am a terrible vlogger. I am terrified of being perceived. So my level of footage is not super, but I will, any footage I did take of while we were anywhere, I will overlay. The next book I picked up was at this place called Walls of Books, and I've never heard of a more perfectly named bookstore because this is the one that we spotted from the road. So we're driving to one of the other stores that we went to, and Marshall goes, "Is that a bookstore?" And it's a sign that says Walls of Books. And we were like, "Wow, that sounds fun." So we go in, and it is literally like shelves that are only maybe like five, or like not even five, like 3 feet apart. And it's just like rows. It's like a library in there. And they have new and used books. And the pricing on their books were actually fantastic. If I had won the lottery recently, or didn't have a TBR I was trying to bring down, or it wasn't so busy because they were literally having a buy 10 get 10 sale, I could have spent the whole day in there. They have a shop dog who was so cute. I didn't take any footage in there because there were 50 people in the world's tiniest store full of the most books. But I did end up picking up A Very Merry Bromance This is book 5 in the Bromance Book Club series, which I recently finished, but this was actually the first book I read. I audiobooked it over Christmas time last year, but I didn't actually own it. So now my collection of those books is complete, but that one also doesn't add to the TBR, so girl math or whatever. Next, we actually went here last, but we went to Dog-Eared Books in Ames, and I picked up another one off the list, The X-Vows. This store is lovely. If I wasn't such a diehard Hawkeye fan, maybe I would find my way there more frequently. It was like big, and the energy was good in there, and they had a good selection. It was lovely. This next one was actually the first place we went, so first and last, right in an order. This is from, I'm trying to find the little receipt so I can show you. Reading in Public. They also have like coffee and stuff. It was quite cute. I got this copy of If We Were Villains. This is also something that was recommended to me a lot as a fall read, but the independently published edition and the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition, the covers just didn't really speak to me. Like, I didn't want to own it, and I knew that at least for a while it was on Kindle Unlimited, so I was like, I'll just read it on there. But this one has red sprayed edges, and it's got the like blood splatter, and it just like, it called out to me. They had it like displayed on a table, and it called out to me. So that's the one I got there. Then, again, checking the receipt. Oh, this was at Beaverdale Books. They had a cutie little beaver stamp for my passport, which was so cute. I got The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston. This is kind of funny because I was with Rachel the other day, and she had just read The Dead Romantics, and she and I both have read A Novel Love Story and The 7 Years Lived by Ashley Poston, and she was telling me about how she was crying when she finished this, that it was like, it just evoked tears out of her. And I was like, oh yeah, I cried during The 7 Year Slip. And she said, I don't think you should read this. So I'm prepared to be emotionally devastated, but I like Ashley Poston's writing so much that I'm gonna persevere. This next one I got at The Little Book, which was also darling inside. They currently have mostly YA and children's books, but it sounds like they're expanding into the next shop over, and they're going to get more adult kind of selections. So maybe I'll have to find my way back over there. But what I got is this, which is Immortal Dark. This was recommended to me by Heather on YouTube. She was really excited about this coming out, and I thought, based on how she was talking about it, that this was an adult romantasy. As it turns out, it's sort of dark academia YA book. It's published by Little Brown and everything. So I'm even more excited to read it because I was worried it was going to be spicy, and I don't think it's going to be because it's YA. At least it better not be. So excited to read that. Oh, and it has these wicked cool sprayed edges. So excited about that. Next, I went to Half Price Books, as I mentioned, because I can't find myself in the vicinity of a Half Price Books and not go there. And I got something that, Joey, you'll be very excited that I now own. I got 3 of the Bloodlines books by Rochelle Mead. I recently went through a journey and listened to all of the Vampire Academy books, and it sounds like these books are even better, as you tell me. And so I got Bloodlines, which is book 1, The Golden Lily, which is book 2. I already own The Indigo Spell, which is book 3, and then The Fiery Heart is book 4. I do not have, and have to get my hands on, The Silver Shadow, I want to say is what it's called, book 5, and then I also have The Ruby Circle, which is book 6. So I think I'm going to make a full spoiler sort of reading vlog of those, because I'm going to have to read them with my eyeballs, because the library does not have the audiobooks. But that means that I'll be able to record my reactions while I read them, because I won't be able to read them at work. So I'm excited about that. Next, we went to the Storyhouse, which was let me just say for the 14th time that it was the cutest little store. I just love independent bookstores. Like, the energy is always good in there. It always smells like books. It's like small in a way that, like, when you go, like, yeah, I love going into a Barnes and Noble and like there are books everywhere and it's so vast, but I like an intimate little bookstore where it's just like 1 to 2 people who work there and are selling books, and it's just like, I don't know, it calms me. I love independent bookstores. And there I got another one off the list, Wrath of the Triple Goddess. And I am going to rant about this for a moment because every single Percy Jackson universe book, Magnus Chase, Heroes of Olympus, Kane Chronicles, all of it, the books are titled The whatever, The Lightning Thief, The Ship of the Gods, The Trials of Apollo, The Red Pyramid. The new book in this, The Senior Year Adventures, Contractual Obligation for Rick Riordan, The Chalice of the Gods. But this book is called Wrath of the Triple Goddess. Why, Rick, is this not called The Wrath of the Triple Goddess? You got 30 books and you couldn't put a "the" on the title of this one? Anyway, I'm still gonna read it. I'm so excited to read about Percy. I wish we would just give King a break, but anyway. And then finally, the last store we went to, well, it wasn't the last store we went to, but the last item I have here to show you, we went to a place called Dungeons Gate. I thought it was going to be mostly like game stuff. They did have a fair selection of fantasy books, but I was admittedly a little spent out. I felt like I had certainly bought plenty of books, because there are more than 10 here, I think. So I convinced Marshall to buy something at the store so I could get my stamp. But then he bought something for me. This is the special edition of the new set of Dungeons and Dragons rules that was recently released. It's shiny, has the cool 50th anniversary thing on the back. So when we start playing with the new rules, I will have this beautiful copy. So those are all of the things that I got while we were independent book shopping yesterday. I am a little terrified for what this is going to do to my TBR percentage that I've been trying to bring down, because I read 4 or 5 books this week, and then I'm going to go and add this many, but I got 3 off the list of the ones that I was looking for, and I got one that was already on the, already crossed off the TBR, already read it, so, I'm going to call it a win.